What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. It's a nice sunny day here in the Northwest. Not raining, at least today. Tomorrow it's supposed to, and then we might get some rain later on today. Today we are installing, if this thing will focus, this is always the problem, a Redhead steering gearbox. So that's awesome. Preston's also got his. It's right there on the ground, about ready to go in. He's actually just reading over some stuff now, and he's about to get started on his. But I'm gonna go ahead and do an unboxing on mine so you guys can see what you're gonna get when you order one. Alright, so I moved because the lighting over there was terrible because the sun was peeking in. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on unboxing and we'll go over what's inside the box. Business card. Some small stickers of the steering gearbox. Other stickers. Some more stickers, just bigger ones. A return label for your core. And another box. It's like Christmas when you're pranking your siblings and you have a really small present and you put it in a small box and then a bigger box and a bigger box and a bigger box. It's always fun. Alright, so they sent me a pitman arm because I asked them to. A new one. And the meat and potatoes of everything right here. The beloved Redhead box with their famous red on the top here. Of course, made in the US. That's always a great thing. And they got a little sleeve on here from when they tested it. I'm assuming that's just some excess fluid. But as you can see, it has two plugs in here. And then they put these bolts in here just so that, I'm assuming, so nothing gets in there. But you're going to take these out and you'll use your stock ones and then put these ones in. Your core return, as well as the two plugs in here. Those will go back with your core so it doesn't leak inside the box. But I want to give a huge shout out to Redhead for sponsoring the truck with a new Redhead steering box. It's going to make a huge difference. So far we've got the crossover steering on there, which helped out a lot. A new track bar and the steering box is going to be a huge upgrade that'll help with the tightness of the steering wheel, as well as I'm also going to be getting a steering box brace here soon. I'm just waiting for it to come in, so when that does, it'll go on the truck too, so you'll be seeing that in a future video. But I just want to give a huge thanks to Redhead for hooking the truck up with a new box, and I also have something in store and planned for you guys here in the next couple of months. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see how it goes and we'll see how the weather is, but you're going to like it, so just stay tuned. But we're going to go and get started on Preston's truck, and the whole process, we'll walk you through it on my truck. We're just going to kind of do one and then do the other one, and then simultaneously bounce back and forth for the bleeding process and all that. But we'll go over that with you in this video, so stay tuned. I'm about to get started on drilling out the new pitman arm, because as you remember, I got to do a 3/4 inch drill bit through the pitman arm. That's what it is for the Heims on the crossover steering. We just got Preston's new box in. I'll show you here real quick. As you can see the red up there. That's how you know it's a Redhead. But Preston's about to get started on removing my pitman arm, the drag link from the pitman arm. Then he's going to take out the old steering box, which he'll go over here with you while I'm drilling out the new pitman arm.
Well, now he's done making all that damn noise in there. Never mind.
Always do it.
So now, since he took a break from drilling, I can actually talk now. You take this bolt up here, it's a 1/2 inch, I believe, 1/2 inch. Might be different on yours, but your steering shaft that goes into your box here, unscrew that. You should be able to slide the steering shaft off. There'll be slotted grooves. You might have to wiggle it a little bit. Try not to turn it too much because it messes up with your steering wheel in the cab. Do that. In this situation, you don't need to take the pitman arm off because he's got a brand new pitman arm on. All you gotta do is take the bolt off. You can take it off if you want. Makes your life a little easier sometimes. So once you got that off, you have to take your pitman arm off. I like to loosen all my bolts up first. At least take one of them out for sure so it's out and the other one almost out. So all you have left is your two lines up top here They're really hard to see and hard to get to. One's a return, which is just a rubber hose. That one you can either cut and put a new clamp on, or this situation, this has been replaced already, so all there is a hose clamp up there we got to unloosen. And then you have your main pressure line that comes in, which fitting on this one's a 3/4. I use a little stubby wrench. Some people have other stuff to do. You loosen those up, take that off, and it's going to slowly drain. It's pretty messy. Have your pan ready. It's just going to run down the side of the box. It's going to go everywhere. Let that get most of that out. Then you can remove the whole box off the truck.
So as you can see, the power steering fluid is draining. We just got the supply and return lines undone. Mine was an 18 millimeter on the supply line, and Preston's, which as you guys know is 2000, mine's a 2001. 1 year difference. His was a 3/4 instead of an 18 millimeter. So that's why whenever I say a size on parts, it could be different on your truck, even if it's a 1 year difference. I get a lot of comments like when I did the clock spring on the truck, I said it was a T20 or T15, and someone commented saying it was T20 or T15. That's why I just tell you what size it is on my truck and what size it is on Preston's truck, but it might be different on yours if you have a 12 valve, etc. But as you can see, it's draining right now, so we're gonna let all the power steering completely drain out, and then we'll take the last bolt out of the steering box and then drop that and get the new one put back in and all bolted up. And we'll go over the bolt up process, the torque specs and all that stuff, but it's really hard because the sun's setting right now, kind of. It's coming down. So as you can see, the lighting behind the truck is just crap, so you couldn't really see anything while we were working, so that's why we kind of turned the camera off for a minute. Preston's just over here chilling with his legs up on the 26s. Look pretty comfortable.
Just comfy.
On my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only
Now that we got the box out of the truck, we're gonna disassemble it and get all the power steering fluid out of it to package it back up for the return for the core. Take out the power steering return fitting, and then he's gonna turn the box back and forth so we can get all the power steering fluid out of it. And to do so, you just turn the shaft that goes on your steering.
thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act. Head up, that's a fact. Never looking back.
Now we're gonna take the plugs that come in the new steering box and put them in the old steering box, so that way it doesn't leak fluid when you put it in the box to return.
I'ma keep myself on track.
Just like that. Now we're taking the bolts out of the new steering box and putting them in the old steering box for the core. Again, you use the stock steering bolts for your new box.
My head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams.
Now we're gonna get the steering shaft on the steering box.
Then you hit your teens, life ain't really what it seems. Try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through.
Now that we got the steering shaft all the way onto the steering box, we just put that screw in there and he's about to tighten it down, which will tighten the steering shaft onto the actual steering box itself. Steering shaft's all tightened down. He's gonna put the last two bolts and tighten down the steering box into place, which is on my truck and his truck as well was a 13/16. All right, now I'm going to torque down the bolts that hold the steering box in place, which is 60 foot-pounds of torque.
And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow till I finally prove it. Never
Right now I'm going to torque the sway bar bolts to spec, which is 40 foot-pounds. As you can see, we just got the pitman arm onto the new steering box and the drag link all hooked up. Next we're going to take the torque wrench and torque it down to 40 foot-pounds and then go 90 degrees past that. And then after that we're going to take the floor jack, put it up on jack stands like Preston's truck is now, and then we'll go through the procedure once we're there.
That's all I got.
Now that we got the truck up on these little baby jack stands, we're going to go ahead and add fluid into the reservoir, and then one of us will hop in the truck and turn the wheels back and forth about 20 times and let all the air get out of the system and just flush the fluid through the system, and then we'll let it sit for about 2 hours, and then come back. And by the time we're done with this, Preston's truck should be ready to go. Now we're gonna add some power steering in. For that, we're just using Lucas Oil products, power steering, another American product. We're gonna add this in, and then we're gonna run to Home Depot, grab another 3/4 bit to finish off the drilling on the pitman arm over there and the vise. And now it's pushing all the old stuff out. So I just test drove it around the block, came back, checked the fluid to make sure it didn't go down at all, because if it went down, that means we got air in the system. We didn't have any air in the system, it didn't move at all, which is awesome, which means that when we primed it yesterday, turned the wheel back and forth, let it sit on the jack stands for 2 to 3 hours, means that we got all the air out, which is awesome. Hey, I'm gonna turn around real quick right here. It feels like it turns. The 37's a lot easier, but it also feels like it's a lot tighter. And there's a little bit of resistance to the turn, so it feels, the new box feels really good. Turning's so much easier now, wow. And the steering wheel feels tighter. I can't imagine what this thing's gonna feel like with a brace in it too. It's gonna be like driving a whole new truck. That's what I'm going for, so very pleased with the box so far. Highly recommend it. I'm gonna go and drive it for a couple more minutes and then get back to the house and we'll wrap this video up. So I just got back from my longer test drive, and like I said, the steering felt a lot tighter. In a good way. There was a little bit of resistance in it, but not resistance to where it was like hard to turn the wheel. And it also felt like it turned the 37s a lot easier than the old box did. The steering feels a lot better, a lot tighter in my opinion. Once I get the steering box brace on there, like I said, it's gonna be like driving a whole different truck. I'm pretty excited for that, but this Redhead did make a huge difference. So again, I wanna give a huge shout out to Redhead for sponsoring the truck with a steering box. I'd highly recommend them. I'll put their website and their Instagram information down below if you guys wanna follow them and also pick up one for your truck. Is there anything you wanna say about your truck and your box? How did yours drive?
Rode pretty good. The steering wheel's a lot tighter, doesn't have as much play. Because I went from original from 2000 to now.
Yeah, his was stock. Mine has been replaced at least once. I know that because on the return, or is it the return line, right?
Yeah, the return line, there's just a normal rubber hose. Well, there's a factory clamp on that's like a machine.
It's like crimped on.
Crimped on where you have to cut that out. That's how you can kind of tell if it's factory, not in the deal or whatever that DOT plate on it is.
Versus, these are the aftermarket ones you put on, the ones that you can adjust, which mine had on there, so that's how we knew it was already been replaced before. But I'd highly recommend the Redhead box. Would you?
I would for the money. It's only like an extra $100 from a Remand one.
Yeah, so it's definitely better than just buying a Remand box for your truck, and I'd say they're the most well-known, probably the best boxes out there that you can buy. So again, huge shout out to Redhead. Check them out on Instagram, check the website. I'll put all the information down below. I think that's awesome as well is they are made in America, so it's always awesome to support a company that makes the products in America because it seems like it's more uncommon these days. They're a super easy company to work with as well. I sent them an email and he got back to me the same day. And same with you, he got back to you pretty fast too, right?
I call him up, I ordered my box on a Wednesday afternoon. He said, I paid for it. He said, I'll put it in UPS. It was here by Thursday afternoon.
And mine went out on a Thursday and got here literally by noon on Friday. So pretty quick shipping as well.
It might be a little longer for you if you're off East Coast or whatnot because it's a local company. They're about 2.5 hours up north from us. But that's pretty good return time for 30-some pound box.
Right. And install was pretty easy. Of course, the longest part was us with the filming and everything. And then also we had to go over to Preston's shop here to get the acetylene torch to get my old pitman arm off the old box because the new one that we got sent out was actually too big for the shaft for the pitman arm. So we literally drilled that out for nothing. So that kind of sucks. But other than that, super easy install. It didn't take too long. The longest part is actually the priming process. You got to leave it up on the jack stand, turn the wheel back and forth 20 times like we showed you, and then let it sit for like 2 to 3 hours. We left mine sitting here overnight because last night I got too late after we got the pitman arm off, and so we just put fluid in the system, primed it, and then called it a night. But really happy with it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. And if you have any comments, drop them down below. We'll get back to you. With that, we will see you next time.